some things. I'm sure people will slowly roll in. Oh good, I still have a little bit of water left. Don't need this, don't need that. I do need these, however. I'm just making some basic candles. That's all we're doing today. Upgrades to the pottery studio. I don't know if you can see, I have a new work table. I got a piece of wood that is the top of all three of my tables, because all my tables have texture to them, so I can't work on them like bare. So this should help. Like, it's weird to have this much workspace. It's actually so nice. See, the brightness keeps adjusting. I wish it would just like stay. Hopefully it'll stay. But yeah, we're gonna make some basic big candles. So my biggest candle, oh, also I started making mugs. What do you guys think? A little coffee mug here. I do think I want to do a foot on the bottom of them, so the bottom can also be the color of the glaze. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling up to that eventually. But this will be like my last time filling the kiln with stuff made like exclusively by hand. I'm actually getting an extruder. I placed that order this week. I don't know actually when I placed it. I can't remember. Time has been a blur lately. I think I might just make them and leave them on here. I got my little stamp that I made so I can put my signature on the bottom of my pottery. But yeah, we're just going to hop to it, roll out some clay, and hope for the best. Got some jazz. Got a square of clay. I'm going to set this aside, but we're going to roll this out first. I'm going to make the base of my candles first. I think I'm just going to aim to make 3. I need to make 6 total. And these will be the last I make of these super big candles, because they don't really sell that well. So I'm just going to make 6 more, and then I'm kind of set for a while. But we're going to start off with a hunk of clay. Is the music too loud? I'm going to turn the music down. There, I feel like that's better. Hello! Okay, we're bringing out Big Bertha. But yeah, welcome to the pottery studio. It's Saturday night. Like I said, I haven't done pottery since January because my pottery studio is in my garage. So it's whatever it is outside, it is the same temperature in the studio. So, where are my sticks? Here are my sticks. I use these to make sure that, to make sure that my slab is even when I'm working. Can you guys see the pottery pretty well? Maybe I can scoot you back a little bit. Hopefully that helps a little bit. There. If you need to, I think you can swipe away the comments if you need to view the pottery. We're making candles. Just a basic little candle. It'll be a 3-wick candle, so it's actually kind of a big one. Let me make sure, and I use these nice good old-fashioned fondant cutters. So right now, that's almost the right width. Oop, there's a little shard of clay. So we're rolling out the bottoms right now. And then we'll work on the wall of the candles. Like I said, my goal is to only make 3 today. It's kind of like a basic pot, yeah. Like you could easily turn this into a planter if you like cut a couple small drainage holes in the bottom of this. It would easily be a good little pot for a plant. And thankfully my clay didn't dry out since January, so that's always nice. And it's really nice having my bigger workspace. I'm really glad I upgraded. Oh, I can tell I'm out of shape from doing this. My wrists are already starting to hurt. It's been a while. But that's why I'm starting off with just making 3. I've got to ease my way back into it. I mean, I used to do pottery for hours on end. I'd even forget to eat. So we're not trying to do that. We're trying to take care of ourselves a little better. Okay, I'm going to, thankfully I have a tiny bit of water left in here, by some miracle. Smooth that down. There we go. One side down, flip it over. Ooh, I just got a little dizzy. I've been dealing with vertigo for a while now, and that has been kind of a struggle. Every time I like bend or lean forward slightly, I get like dizzy. It's very weird. Do not recommend vertigo. It is not pleasant. Okay, set that over there. Now we're going to cut the bottoms. This is a fondant cutter. I like it because it's a little sharper. I think I can do 2 of these here. So I'm going to go far over here, press it down, and then I have my stamp that I made for my signature. I'm going to put that in the center. There we go. And then I twist and release. Take it over the other side, press it down, signature again. Set that aside, twist. Oop, and come on, release. She didn't want to release. I'm going to poke it through gently, carefully. And there we have the bottom of our candles. So we're going to set these over to the side. Felt a buzz. Nope. Nothing important. Some dry clay. I don't want that mixed in there, so I'm going to put that over there. And we'll take what clay we have left and try to make another. Because like I said, 3 is the goal. I only really need 3 to start with, and then I could do like 3 tomorrow. I do want to start making more mugs after that. So here is how my mugs turn out. Like these are the ceramic mugs I make. Now I do have qualms with this glaze. This glaze was supposed to be metallic on the handle and on the rim, and it didn't really do that. So I'm going to try to fire it at a different temperature to see if I get it. But I also am considering adding a foot to the bottom of this so it can be mostly black. We'll see. We'll see if I'm feeling up to it. I am getting an extruder, which will make my hand building like way quicker. It would actually cut the time of this probably in half actually. So, but I have to wait 4 to 6 weeks for my extruder to come in the mail, and then I still have to set it up and everything. So thankfully I don't think it'll be too difficult to set up. It is a tabletop extruder, so I'll have to drill it into the table. I'm trying to decide where I want to set it up. I'm kind of thinking as I work. So I don't know if I want it at this end of the table. That's where people like walk in and out. But that's where the most space is. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Because I do like being able to work side to side and having room to set things down. But I have worked in a smaller space for a long while now, so maybe I can still put it at this end and it won't feel like I'm losing space very much. I hope everyone's doing well. Enjoying nice weather. It's finally spring here in Michigan, so I can work in here again. It's not really bitter cold. It was a very cold winter this year. High winds too. We had a lot of windstorms. We're still getting a lot of windstorms actually. We've been getting a lot of tornadoes. This is the most tornado-y spring we've had yet. Okay, time to smooth this down. And flip it over. There we go. Now we can cut it out. And add the signature. And twist. And release. Set that back over there. And now we get to cut out the walls of the pots. So that's like if this is the bottom, this part that's on it, or like this is the wall of the bottle. So this is the bottom, this is what we call the wall when we're building. Same for when you're throwing, you like lift and pinch, you create the wall of the vessel. I'm going to set this over here, out of the way, and then we're going to grab some more clay from my big cube so we can work on the walls. I think I'm going to take just this much to start with. There. A little garrote, it looks like, almost. Is that what those are called? Like an assassin would use. Only mine is just for cutting clay. Same thing I think people use to cut cheese. That is not a fart joke. I can't remember if I locked this door. I did. Okay, good. Okay, now time to roll this out. I think I'm going to roll it out kind of over here to the side. Sorry, I just don't want to get this work area too wet too soon, because then the clay will stick pretty bad. Also, I'm wearing gloves because I found my hands don't get as damaged if I wear my gloves. Like, sometimes with the glazes and the clay, my hands will get really dried out, but they'll also get almost like chemical burns. There. Plus, I have nice long nails right now, which I need to switch out. But so my goal is to get my pottery done, and then I'm gonna do my nails, because I don't want to like do them and then immediately destroy them. Right here, I think this is a good spot. Okay. How is everybody? I think I'm gonna make these three posts high. I think that's how tall I usually make the walls on these little pots. So I have to make a long, skinny, narrow piece. Wider at the ends. Hopefully it is long enough. Okay. Same here. I haven't been doing the live streams for a while. Any vlogging for that matter, so I'm just getting back to the swing of everything for the first time in like over a year, I think, or a year. I think it might be a year exactly now that haven't done all the things on the YouTube, so happy to be back. Okay, time to cut this out. I'm going to use 1, 2, 3. We're going to try to go for 3 high. I think that should be good. Don't know if I want 4. Haven't decided yet. Oh, this way. Don't mind me. Am I supposed to do it 3 or is it supposed to be 4? Because I don't want to make it too short. Room for 4? I do have room for 4, so I think I'm going to go for 4. Go. This is kind of the hard part, lining them up so I don't like trim off too much. go. Don't mind me being a little type A over here. Okay, time to trim. Gotta extend this over. Go. Okay, now time to make it the right height, or right circumference, that's the word. So when I use these fondant colors to make the base, whatever the big one is that I actually use for the base, I try to size 2 down, and I use that to help me figure out exactly what size I need to make it for the circumference, because when I find when I connect them and press that seam down, it does expand a teeny bit. So I found 2 sizes down is like kind of the perfect way. So we're going to start on the first one now. Set the clay over, pull up the chair. Look, I can sit down now. This is nice. Okay. So I'm going to grab this piece. Oh, actually, before I do that, this is a little bit rough here. Smooth it down as much as possible, especially the part that's going to be on the inside, because it's going to be hard to get to it again. Bring it around town. I feel like I was supposed to do 3 high, not 4. So I think the next ones I'll do 3, because I did have one big candle I'm doing. It's more of like an extra one, so this is my extra one. It has been decided for me. Yeah, because this would be a, excuse my French, a massive candle. Like, this is like, yeah, we're going, next round, it's going to be 3 high. We're making a mental note, so it's not this chonky. Okay, now I cut it at an angle, not straight on, because that way, because we don't want to try to stick 2 pieces like this. It's actually better to put them at an angle and overlap that seam. It's way easier to connect it. Here we go. Add an angle. Then I just try to hold that angle all the way down. There. And I can take off the excess, open it a little bit, take that away, add that back to my block, remove what I used for the sizing, bring it in. Actually kind of tempted to turn this into a plant pot. I'm not gonna do it. I wanna, but I'm not gonna do it. I need to stay to the game plan because I just need to get this kiln filled. I have, I think, less than a month before the first farmer's market. I am making a candle, so just a basic little cylindrical pot that I'll put a 3-wick candle inside of. And I'm doing, for the scents for these candles, I'm going to be doing lavender for the purple ones, and then peonies, sweet peony for the pink ones. I'm doing like baby pink. Sorry, I have to keep squinting because I don't have my glasses on. There, I added a little bit of water, and now I'm overlapping them. Ooh, itchy. I try to line up those edges there a little bit at the top. And then I try to do the same thing at the bottom. There. And then something I like to do when I'm connecting the seam of the pot, first I go in the inside, the outside, and I take one of my sticks and I put that on the inside as my like support, so I don't poke through. And first I just press it in. Nice and easy, that's all. And then we just smooth it out, one little stroke at a time. There we go. So now the outside seam is smoothed out. And this is why I always size down, because the process of smoothing it out usually expands it just a tiny, tiny bit. Now I'm laying it down on its side so I can do the inside. And I usually do 1/2. There. It's kind of hard. It's a little bit harder to do the inside. That's why I'm excited that eventually I won't have to do this step ever again. I'll have an extruder and it will do it for me. It'll make hollow tubes, because work smarter, not harder. There. Now I'm going to pick it up, roll it on over to the other side, lay it down, and start to smooth out this seam. Go. It's almost done, and then we'll add the bottom to it. Now I smooth out what I did. I flip it over. There we go. And then I try to get the bottom as circular as I can. Smoothing out any of the little nooks and crannies. And then I like to take the cutter that I used in it, kind of as a guide, to get the shape round again. There we go. And now we're going to take the bottom and we're going to attach that. So here's our bottom. My signature is on the bottom, so that was the side we want up. There's a hair attached to it. Now my hair is long again, so I actually do end up getting my hair on things. And that is literally a perfect fit. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, I love when that happens. Ooh. So satisfying. So before we can connect it, I do have to score. I think you saw me doing that earlier, but I forgot to say what I was doing. We're scoring it. This is just roughing up the edge. I like to call it like Velcro, kind of like the two interlocking sides of Velcro. So you have to make the one side of the Velcro and the other. If I'm being honest, sometimes I only do the one side. I know that's kind of cheating, but I've had no issues with my connecting. I wouldn't suggest that to like a new pottery person. Don't do as I do, just do as I say. But I'm going to go around, because this is a pretty big pot. I want to make sure it's connected really well. And I'm roughing up the other outside edge. And then I will also spray it with water. Some people use slip, which is just like a mixture of water and clay, kind of almost like a toothpaste consistency. I don't use slip. I found water is just fine. But again, that might just be, you know, years of doing this has made it so I can do that. Okay, now we're going to flip her over. Line up all the edges. We're going to check our time. We're doing pretty good on time. And then this is what I like to do. I like to go not flat and not straight, but at an angle to secure, like seal that attachment. I find the little pats kind of get any air bubbles out as well. I think like 2 times around is kind of usually what it takes for me. There we go. And then I'm going to smooth downwards. The little edge. Down, 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 down. There we go. And then we'll clean up this seam where they're connected, and you won't even be able to tell they were ever 2 separate pieces. There. Lovely. Take off the excess clay off of my tool. This is my most favorite pottery tool. I don't even know what shape this is. But this is my ride or die. And I try to keep taking the excess clay off as I smooth out the seam. There we go. This is definitely like one of the more tedious steps. There we go. See, got a little ball of excess clay from doing that. And I'm going to smooth it out. Go. Okay, and we have one down. Now I'm just gonna flip it over like I did. Go around the rim, try to get it smooth, nice and circular. And now I have to work on the inside a little bit, so I'm actually gonna take, I see a little gap. There must have been like an air bubble or something. I'm going to take a tiny little ball of clay to put into that, and I'll smooth that out. So I'm actually going to stick it to the end of my tool so I can press it in and then smooth it out right away. There. It's like it was never there. Now I'll take this kind of sharp end of my tool to the bottom seam on the inside just to clean it up. Yeah, beautiful. She's done. One down, two more to go, and the two more will be shorter. This one right now is almost a hand high. It's from my fingertip to about here tall. I think I'm going to do it so it's more like there. It's just 3 high. So right now this this is a massive candle. This would take a really long time to burn. Smooth out any little bits, and then I usually wait till it's drier, and then I'll go over it with my, where's my scrapey tool? With this tool. You can kind of see over my forehead. It's a little rectangle shape, and it has a sharp edge, and I'll smooth over the top, inside and out, the bottom, any little things, let it become completely dry, and then something I do that most people don't do is I glaze my pottery green, not bisque. I know, wild and crazy. So I will wait till it's completely dry though, that's part of it, and then I will glaze it, and then I only have to fire it once instead of twice, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to set this out of the way. I'm going to move this bucket, and I'm going to set it somewhere it can dry in peace. Okay, on to number 2. More clay. So I'm trying to make sure you can see what I'm doing. Starting off with more clay. I think I need a little bit more. So I'm going to take a chunk off. This should be enough, I think. So I'm guessing we'll be done at like 8:30. It's not bad, like an hour and a half working. Not too shabby. Oh, it's sticking to my roller. Oh, I think I should have grabbed more clay. I need more clay. I did not grab enough. It would be cool if I have just enough clay for this today. That would actually be very satisfying. Okay, let's add this all in. Set that over there. I'm going to do my kneading over here. Try to keep that area dry. But it's so nice to have all this workspace. I used to have 1/3 of this work table space. There's so much more room. So much more room for activities. Okay. That should be better. I'm excited tomorrow. A little girls' day, and we're going to go see You, Me, and Tuscany. Rom-coms are back, people. They're back. And I'm very excited. Usually, I get popcorn. I'm kind of craving those, like, fake nachos. You know, that fake nacho cheese? I've been eating a lot of Mexican food lately. Not that those are, like, real Mexican food. Okay, let's move over a little ways. little more. So you can still see it? Yes, you can still kind of see it. Also, the way the brightness keeps adjusting, like, okay, it didn't do that time, but it's actually driving me crazy. Hopefully it doesn't do it anymore. Just needs to focus on my bright white forehead. Okay. Time to turn this down. Again, I'm doing 3 sticks, not 4 again, because 4 is a little too large, as I learned over there. Getting it nice and smooth like butter. Well, if I'm making one of the candles like a bonus candle, I should probably do a different colored glaze. Maybe I'll do one of my new glazes. I got lots of new glazes. There's one, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I put it on a mug that I made for my friend, which I need to mail to her. I keep forgetting to do that. I also made a mug for my other friend, which I also have to mail to her because she lives out of state. I'm also going to give her some books. She likes books that are like a long series, so she can like buckle down and just read, you know, 7 or 8 books and just live in that world. So I'm currently and finally reading the ACOTAR series. I'm reading A Court of Wings and Ruin. So that's the, what? Yeah, the 3rd book. And then the 4th book is so short, I will honestly probably read it in like a weekend. And then the 5th book is, again, long. And I'm already kind of sad that like the series is going to be over. But thankfully, my friend released her book, her 2nd book in her series, really recently. So we'll be reading that next. So I have that to look forward to. See, do you see how the brightness keeps adjusting? I can't have my forehead up in the spotlight at all times. Like, I have to look down at what I'm doing sometimes. Oh, I just burped, sorry. Okay, taking this. Oh, there's another hair. Again, that is not my hair, that's my mom's. I used a little broom to brush off the dust off my table, and I guess there was a lot of hair in it. Kind of gross. Yes, this is more the size I do for these candles. 3 high, okay. I haven't made them for like a year or so. So I didn't make any more big candles in the fall for the holiday season. I only made small candles and lots of different smells. Also, I had new stickers made to put on my candles that like have a little logo on them, but also tell people, because I do refills on these candles. So it's like my email so they can reach out, have a refill made. Scoring this so I can attach them. That was a cute song. I like the end of it. Some water. And now we attach. my tool? Oh no, I just... Okay. Oh no, my battery's dying. Okay, now we're on a time limit, y'all. Okay, outside's done. Time for the inside. Booping the edges accidentally. There we go. Okay, there we go. Attached. Beautiful, wonderful, amazing. Now we just gotta add the bottom. And then we have one more to do and we are done for the evening. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna use this to make sure it's a circle. I'm live streaming and I'm working. I will be done in time for whatever you need eventually. Okay, scoring and slipping so we can add. Bottom. There we go, make sure it's a nice circle. Again, there's another hair attached to this. I cannot get it out. Doesn't technically matter, it burns off in the kiln, it just grosses me out. I don't like when there's hair in there. Now I'm scoring the edges of this one. That wasn't a good placement. That was a little sloppy on my part. Line it up. I like it on this side. It's not really lining up over here, and I don't like that. Let's see if I can pull. There we go, and set it a little better. Okay, that's better. Yay. Press it down, and now time to slap it. Time around we go. There's a little tiny hole. There. Okay, now I'm going to close the seam up completely with kind of a diagonal cross and down motion. Oh, I totally forgot. I have a little, like, turntable that I can work on instead of turning my head every which way. Go. Almost. There we go. Okay. Cooking with gas now. Smoothing it out as much as I can. Get smooth, but you can't press it too much and push inwards, because then it like dips in. Still want the wall to be nice and straight. Don't like how it's looking over on this side. Let's see. That's better. Nice. Okay, this one is done. Let me flip her over. We can work on the inside. How's my battery doing? Oh, we're good. We're still at 14%. I should be able to get the last one done then for you guys before we call it a night. So seaming, closing this inside seam up. And make the third one. There we go. Okay. Another one down. I'm going to set this one over here to dry. Try to make it a nice circle shape. Sometimes I use this again. There. Okay, last one. Can't decide if I need more clay or not. Better have more than not enough. And I'll go ahead and wrap this up in a little bit. Turn a bit there. Final one. Oh, my back just cracked. It's almost been. Yeah, almost an hour. 9 more minutes, an hour. Let's see if I can get done in exactly 1 hour. We'll make that the goal. I just keep thinking about how much quicker this is going to be when I have my extruder. It's going to be like mind-blowing how many I can pump out in an hour. It'll be a lot easier on my body too. There, set that aside, don't need it anymore. Got one more playlist. Have some jazz music. Yes, we do. Okay, time to cut this down to size. Doing 3 high. There, that's good. Around 10%. The battery is dying. Okay, grab this. We're doing a speed run this time. No, it's too short. No. Okay, we're cheating. We're gonna cheat a little bit here. Grab this piece of hair out of there. And let's smooth the edges. Score the seam. Rid of that little line that forms in there. Now going in. section on this side, just because it's kind of imperfect, so we can just cover that up. I'm going to grab a little bit of clay, put right here. There we go. The bottom. Now the bottom might be too big. I might have to trim it down a little bit. That's a me problem. I didn't feel like rolling out the slab again. Here's what we're going to do for this one. A little tap. And I'm actually going to flip it back over so we can trim down size. I need a very specific tool. This one is rounded. There we go. Okay. Now this is totally my fault. I made it too small. So it happens. Hopefully it won't be too much smaller than the other ones. Fingers crossed. Oh, we've hit the 1 hour mark. I thought I could get done. And be done for the evening, especially since we're on 4%, so my phone's probably going to die any second now. So if it does and the live stream ends, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Had a good Saturday night hangout. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hopefully tomorrow we get better weather and everyone can get out and enjoy it. And I'll be back at some point for another pottery live stream. I don't know when. I don't really have a schedule right now. Just trying to squeeze in pottery making whenever I have time and energy. Trying to give myself time to rest. You know how it is. It's hard to do all the things. Maybe we can at least finish this before my phone dies. Let's see, I'm going to switch to look at that. I thought I was going to be done at 8:30, and it looks like I am. Okay, smooth out some of this later when it's more dry. It's just kind of wet right now and too damp for me to mess with. There we go. Okay, I'm going to smooth the inside seam and then this one's done. There. Got it done with 1% left on my battery. So I'm going to make this a nice circle and leave it over here to dry with its friend for the evening. Bag over it. That's it. Thanks so much for joining the first live stream a year or so. We're getting back into it. I'll see you guys later. Bye.